From the originals to the prequels to the sequels and every era in between and beyond. We were there. We're still here. We're voices of the first generation. We are the Star Wars Trilogies. What's going on, Star Wars fam? My name is Chris Rhines from Broaxi, and I'm here with my host for this episode from ATG, from the SSW Network, Pete Flexer. Pete, how you doing, brother?
Chris! I've been waiting to do that for a long time. Chris, I'm doing great. It's we're a week away, less than a week from a Star Wars experience in the theaters. This is kind of what we've been thinking about for the last, how many years was it? When was the last movie? How many years ago?
The one you love so much? It was
I can't even think of the name or when it came out or
7 years.
Rise of Skywalker. 7 years. Okay. Yeah. That's way too long to have to wait to go see a Star Wars movie. So I am excited, and I'm excited about this whole trilogies thing. I'm glad we're kicking it off. It's a lot of fun. It's great people.
Absolutely. We do have some great people with us today. So we're going to be talking about the Star Wars theater experience. What was it like for us growing up? What is the importance of it? And should it continue? So we're going to be talking about that. But let's open up this pack of trilogy cards to see who we got with us. And our first one, all the way from Minnesota, Holy Buckets. It's Raven.
Holy buckets.
Holy buckets. Raven, how are you?
I'm good. Things are good here up in the Northland. It's warming up. We're not in a deep freeze every night, so it's fantastic. How's you guys?
Excellent.
It's getting almost Tatooine-y here down in New Jersey, so we're it goes from Hoth to Tatooine overnight in the in this tri-state area.
Yep. The AC's on. Yep. It's almost 90.
Yeah, it's a hot day.
I'll take it over
66
snow.
here.
So.
Yeah, 66, and that's warm. Good, awesome.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah.
What else is in the pack, Chris?
And the next card that we're pulling out is an old friend from my retail days, and he's a part of the trilogies now. It's my man, Mick Jamison. Mick.
Chris.
Yeah, man.
Don't bring up. I don't want to think about bad memories like that.
What?
Come on.
What? Suncoast was an amazing job.
It was, except for the customers.
Well, that's most retail. That's all retail.
I don't like people. I like you guys. I don't like people.
This is why I don't like going to the theater.
Why do you think I
we'll get into
hired
that.
you? I needed somebody to talk to. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about Star Wars. I am also in the area that Chris and Pete are. So it is. I was going to say it's kind of muggy. So it's more like Endor on like a muggy.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, for sure. Yeah, when we get to July, it'll be Tatooine here. But now
there's Endor muggies. But I am excited. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm excited to talk to everybody who I've seen on various other podcasts and episodes. So I'm excited to be a part of this.
Awesome,
excellent. Pete, you want to do the next? You want to pull the next card?
Yeah, let me see here. We've got one of my favorite people who is the only reason I know anything about happening in the Star Wars book world, my good friend, Becca Benjamin. Becca, what's going on? No.
Just saying.
Read.
It's very fundamental. I'm, like you guys, I'm in Western New York, so I'm in that tri-state type area. So let's go with more Yavin now.
That's nice.
Yeah. So, but again, it is. My backyard's still kind of like a bog. It's still kind of very wet. Because again, last week it was in the 30s at night and 40s during the day, and like today we're close to 80. I don't understand it.
Well,
Mother Nature's mad.
Yes.
Mother Nature's mad. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with like-minded. I don't feel so old. So thank you guys. Normally I'm like up there next to everyone else I'm talking to. At least I feel even keel right here. Very even keel.
Right.
And it's wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You won't hear phrases like "it's giving emperor."
No.
It's we won't be
Right, I have to get the phone out. What does this mean?
right.
What does this
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah. We're farming. We're at the farm
Right.
for Aura or something.
Yes. Well, if we pull
whatever
one more
it's
card,
really
I'm sure we'll
sad
get Aura.
when you send out a text to a group text to your adult children. Mind you, my kids range now. I say kids, but they're adults. They range from 24 to almost 29, and I text out TGIF, and the youngest is like, "What does that mean?"
Oh.
I'm like, "Oh my god!" So yeah, here I am though. Yay!
Well, you know what? TGIF has a new meaning considering the last name of the last card that we're pulling out today. Pete, who we got?
We have Mr. Brian Fry. Brian, how are you doing, my friend? You're wearing the merch already.
Thank Grogu, it's Friday.
Greedo, it's Friday.
Thank Greedo, it's Friday. New shirt. I'm working on it right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's get it out by the end of the show. Brian, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. I guess we're more Dagobah-ish in the Atlanta southeast. The storm drain in the backyard is doing its duty. It's less of a mud pit. But yeah, things are going all right. Looking forward to the new movie.
Yeah. There's so much to. I mean, it's the movie, it's the experience, it's all the stuff that we're trying to. It's everything that's coming with this movie coming back into the theaters. I think the last Star Wars I saw in the theater was with Chris when we saw the Acolyte. Was it the Acolyte or it was Acolyte? Mm-hmm. So the first 2 episodes of Acolyte down in King of Prussia, and then we got to hang out with Kerwin afterwards. And but that was the last Star Wars I saw in the theater, and it was only 2 episodes of a show. It was only a little over an hour, and so it's exciting to get back there. And maybe let's just kick things off with, let's go around and talk about what your first Star Wars film that you saw in the theater was. Sort of set the stage there. Let's start with Mick. Mick, what was the first Star Wars movie you saw in the theater?
When I saw this question, I was thinking about it, and when I say it was Return of the Jedi, we just talked about younger kids and the younger generation. For younger Star Wars fans, I'm sure they would say, "Oh, that's awesome! You got to see Return of the Jedi in the theaters," and it was. But I was also 8 years old, and I've told this story on different podcasts before. I think Chris and I might have been in the same theater. This might have actually been almost the first time that we met each other, because when I went to see it, the movie broke.
Yep.
Wow.
In the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Speeder bike.
Yes.
The speeder bike. Yeah.
And I say that, it was a cool experience. I don't remember walking in there. I don't remember being, of course I was excited because I was 8 and I was a Star Wars nut, but it would take until I got older to really feel the full excitement. I think because in the summer of 1983, as far as I was concerned, for somebody born in 1974, Star Wars had always been a part of my life. So I think in my head, I just thought, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go see Star Wars. I'm sure there'll be more of these movies coming out after this. But yeah, it's always memorable that was the first Star Wars movie I saw in the theater, and it did break. And I think when Chris and I did first meet, that was one of the things we said, what? They broke when you went and saw it too? What the? I just imagine it's the guy from Airplane was like pulling the plug of the So that was I got to see Return. Now I did have, speaking of aura, my son when he was younger, and he actually did talk to me in complete sentences. He's going to be 15 in 2 weeks, so he just speaks in grunts now. But when he was younger, and I started making him watch Star Wars movies. He did think it was cool that I got to see one of the original movies in the theater. So I took him a couple of years ago to see the re-release of Return of the Jedi at Camp Russia also when they re-released it. So we did watch that in the theater together. But yeah, Return of the Jedi was my first cinematic Star Wars experience.
That's awesome. What about you, Raven? What was your first cinematic Star Wars?
My first cinematic Star Wars was also Return of the Jedi, and I was a smidge younger than Mick, so my recollection of it is exactly the same thing. Like, it's a Star Wars movie. Like, this happens all the time, apparently, because it's happened before, and but so I had no concept of how big of a deal it was to anyone else. I knew it was a big deal for me, and the thing that stuck with me the most, those of you who know me, say it with me, Luke's boots, because honest to God, that's the thing that sticks out in my mind is the boots. Like, everything else comes later. It's the boots, the boots, the boots. I want the boots. But no, it's I love that one, and I've spoken at length already on trilogies about, my connection to some of the things that happen in that story. So it hit hard at that age for that reason. So it really stuck with me, and it's why it's always been my favorite one and probably will always remain my favorite movie, regardless of anything that comes after, just because of that. But mostly it was the boots.
The boots. It's always the boots. Brian, what about
consistent?
No, that's true. I mean, your story hasn't changed over the years. That's fair. Brian, what about you? What was your first cinematic Star Wars?
It was Star Wars in 77. But they, like Mick was saying, it hit me at 8 and 11 and 14. So I know it affected me very strongly, but I can't say that I remember like sitting in the theater like, oh, amazed. Even into Return of the Jedi, I told the story on one of our other trilogies talks. I remember more the line because I had the storybook and was spoiling the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't recall like any specific theater moment from the original trilogy, but yeah, 77.
That's cool. Becca, what about you?
Original Star Wars 77. It was my first theater experience, period. First movie.
Period. Oh, wow.
And it was a big to-do. It was the whole family. It was the grandparents. It was the aunts and uncles. It was the cousins. Most of the older cousins were like so excited about this Star Wars, so the only thing that really sticks out to me, because I mean, I was so young, was Luke and Leia swinging. That just, that was it. That's all it took. Only for my heart to be crushed for Jedi to find out that they were brother and sister. But anyway, yeah, that movie impacted
the entire
me more
generation.
that impacted me more than I Am Your Father. So I was just gutted. Yeah, but anyway, the whole swing.
That's fair. What about you, Chris? Was Return of the Jedi with Mick your first Star Wars, or?
I think we sat next to each other and we didn't know.
It's like, who's this kid?
Stop eating my popcorn.
Ew.
Those are my M&Ms.
I'm trying to hold my hand.
I get clingy in the good parts. I'm sorry. Like I remember going to, and I said this with Becca on our one-on-one, but I remember going to the theater to go see Empire Strikes Back. Couldn't tell you what happened as far as the movie itself, what that experience was like. I can't remember. But the one that I was cognizant for fully at 8 years old was Return of the Jedi. I remember like damn near every time that I've, walked up to the, me and my friend Pat walking up to the theater from our house to go see it at 8 years old, both of us unsupervised, 1988. So many things could have happened.
God, the 80s were great, weren't they?
Safety was not yet invented.
That wouldn't happen today, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
No,
there was no seatbelts, no helmets, no seatbelts.
Eight-year-olds are armed today.
Here's $4. Go to the movie theater with your friends. Yeah.
Don't come back till dark.
Till the lights come on.
Go see a Star Wars.
Go see a Star Wars. But yeah, those are the moments from Return of the Jedi that I remember the most. Like Mick, because we were in the same theater.
That's
had
wild.
to be. I remember at one point, the strip snapped.
Yeah.
During the biker scout chase, and the people were I remember people were like
unhappy.
What the hell? And it's like, come on, and like just going nuts. So yeah, I remember that, and once it got back on, people cheered, and we were right back into it. There are parts where there are points where, like, I've gone with my friend Pat. And it's always a part, like, it's one of the parts that gets me, because there are a few moments from Return of the Jedi that, like, just get the heart racing. But it's when Luke, I think there's a close up on his boots, Raven, where he walks off the plank, flips off the plank, blah 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 blah. I remember a couple times like me and my friend Pat just like jumping up in our chairs, like every time. We'd already seen this movie like 5 times before, and it still like gets us every time, and it still does at 51.
It's funny you say that, because what I remember about Return of the Jedi, which was not the first Star Wars I saw, but I remember I said to my friend after we saw it, I was like, now I understand why people say edge of their seat, because I was literally on the edge of my seat waiting for Vader to pick up the Emperor and save his son or do whatever he was about to do. But I remember being on the edge of my seat, literally just, come on, just do it, dude. And I was just, it was. That
was nerve-wracking for me, because I didn't spoil that scene for myself a few hours earlier, before we went to go buy tickets. When I went to the B. Daltons and saw the, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't B. Daltons, it was Gene's Books. After our 1-on-1, my brother texted me. He's like, it didn't happen this way. This is what happened. He's a few years older than me. All the memories start to jumble up. We were walking by Gene's Books in the King of Prussia Mall, and I picked it up, and I just looked at a random spot, and it was Vader throwing the Emperor off the thing. So that I spoiled that for myself. So I was not edging my seat. I was like, everyone else in the theater's like, come on, Darth. And I'm like, give it a minute.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
So Pete, tell us more about yours, sir.
I mean, it's funny. I saw Star Wars. It wasn't A New Hope. It wasn't Episode 4 in 1977. And I remember what I remember about wanting to go was my dad kept talking about it, because my dad is a huge science fiction and horror fan, and he played in a band on weekends. So Fridays and Saturdays often were shot. So we didn't get to go see it till I think it was Memorial Day weekend. So I just heard about it, and I didn't know a lot about it. And everybody likes to say, well, when I first saw it, when the Star Destroyer came overhead, everything changed. I don't remember that part. What I remember, my vivid memories for some reason, are the Jawa scenes. And to Becca's point, I remember Luke and Leia swinging across the chasm. But more than that, I remember sitting in the back of my dad's station wagon while he was driving us home, the way far back, right? Because, again, safety wasn't invented yet. And I remember sitting like C-3PO and then trying to shoot TIE fighters that flew by the car. As other cars came by, I remember pretending I was in the Millennium Falcon. And it's funny, because I remember also, we were so excited about Star Wars that the Millennium Falcon escape from the Death Star scene was the scene that was, whenever an actor would go on to a talk show and they say, do we have a clip? That was the clip they showed. And so that scene, that's probably why I stuck to that in the car, because that was like the scene. But it also, honestly, it's some of the best music, because listening back to the soundtrack, because we didn't have Disney Plus or VCRs or anything, listening to the soundtrack brought me back into all those different scenes. But Yeah, so my main memory, like I said, I wish I could say I remembered the Star Destroyers or whatever. It was just Jawas that they stuck with me. They were in my head. So, yeah.
So let me ask everyone this: when going to these, going to theater to go see these, like as a kid, or as an adult, like did it feel? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. Did it feel like it was an event to you guys when you went to the theater to go see these?
These original,
Then
no, because I think we just all thought that this is what we grew up with. I mean, I think we all said it in a different way, but it's Star Wars. Yeah. It's always been here, and for what we knew, it's always going to be here. So it was cool and it was fun, and like everybody's brought up, I think it was a family event for a lot of people.
Yep.
That I mean, I grow up and I'm a movie fan, but my wife isn't. But back when I was a kid, my dad took me to these movies. My mom wasn't a big movie fan, but for Star Wars, the whole family would go because this was an event. But I think that we just thought it was always going to be there. So it was something that was really fun, but it wasn't, oh my God, groundbreaking. And I like Pete was saying that you're going to watch documentaries about Star Wars, and it's always, oh, I saw the Star Destroyer, and that was the first memory. It's usually the smaller things.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of the original Star Wars, I think of seeing it on the Sunday night movie. And those are the memories that bring it back to me. I think of seeing the Mos Eisley scenes on the Sunday night movie, and then a commercial. I run upstairs to go get iced tea in the big iced tea holder. I would mix some iced tea and then go get it. So I think that was all of us, that we had the advantage of youth in that we thought that this is what life was like, and we didn't know about the before Star Wars. We just knew about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let me transition to Brian, because Brian, you and I are obviously, we both saw A New Hope in the theaters, or Star Wars in the theaters. Were any of the three an event for you? I want to see if you and I are on the same page on that.
There was a discussion about if, like, how much they meant to you as you were growing up and seeing them. And I think, like you said, we didn't have VCRs, we didn't have reruns. We were at the mercy of the theaters and the showtimes, and then also parents getting us there, or can we walk down? Is it light or dark out? Can we walk down? I couldn't walk to my theater. So going to the theater just in and of itself was sort of a big deal. But after the first one, I soaked myself in the merchandise. So while I didn't have the movie itself to like be among, I had toys and posters on the wall, and it was with me 24/7, even if I couldn't like watch the movie itself. Yeah. So knowing that another one was coming in 1980, or I guess we heard about it maybe 78 or 79. That I'm sure, I don't remember like personally, but I'm sure that was a big deal to me. Like, we're getting another one, like the adventures are going to continue. And then after that, it's like, well, that was a cliffhanger. We're gotta get a finale.
Yeah.
But I think because I like soaked up all the merchandise, it kind of kept it like in the front of my mind.
Yeah.
It stayed with me, and I think it helped make it like even more exciting.
Yeah, and I think
suddenly seeing a trailer on like during the news or something, like, oh, there's a new Star Wars. Like, I still had it in my room on the floor.
Yeah, I never looked forward to a movie more than Return of the Jedi, because I was soaked in it at 7 years old, and I don't remember the build up to Empire other than I remember seeing some pictures of Yoda in Time magazine. But the build up to Jedi was like modern Star Wars for me now, because there was this one picture I talk about all the time in Starlog magazine, the picture of Luke and Vader in the elevator on Endor, or maybe on the Death Star. I can't remember which one. It doesn't matter. But I remember seeing that, and I remember me and my friends, it was the first theories that I ever did as well. It was like, maybe Luke does turn, maybe he does become a bad guy, or maybe he turned Darth Vader and he's going onto a rebel ship.
All in black.
We were like, we had, but And I remember when we were going to that, and my dad came home from work and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to take you and Mike to the movies tonight to see Return of the Jedi." We're like, we're losing our minds. And I remember the merchandise leading up to it. I remember this little kid named Jean-Paul had a birthday party over around, I think it was earlier in the year, and because they were very careful about releasing anything with Jabba the Hutt on it. But he got a blanket set for his birthday with Jabba the Hutt on it, and we were just like, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. And it was this entire buildup. I was 13. I was the perfect age to be psyched up about a movie, independent enough about it to not have to be told that I should care about this. And so, yeah, Jedi was, and honestly, it's funny. I still feel like that when new Star Wars movies come out. Like whether now it's online, of course, and not Starlog, but a picture drops, or there's a theory that's out there that I like to kind of play with, but that was the first time that happened for me, and it was because of that theater experience. And it's as much as I love the Disney stuff, right, and the theories and the week to week there, it's a different kind of buildup. But it's like 50% of where I was before, but the buildup is still there. Like there's that still something happens in your head when there's a Star Wars coming, and it gets you going, like gets you through the days sometimes.
For sure. I was going to throw in, it's unrelated to the current topic, but you mentioned the theories that first started up. I remember in one of the magazines, people saying, when Yoda said, "No, there is another," we're like, "Oh, we saw Han Solo wield a lightsaber. He cut open that tauntaun like so easy. He didn't like fumble or anything." Oh, Han Solo.
Oh my! Wow, that's funny. That's funny.
Did any of you all have any theories at that time about things that were because that was also a different time too, because everything wasn't answered. Not all questions were answered.
No.
We didn't get 1,000 backstories.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead, Becca.
I think being that young, especially for me, I wasn't thinking that big about it. I just was there for the ride of what it was, because it really is till this day, out of every other IP, Star Wars is like an adventure ride. I know you're sitting in a seat and you're watching this play out, but you feel like you're actually there on this epic journey. It's an adventure. It's on par, but with Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones is not quite Star Wars because it doesn't take you to another world. It's right. You know what I mean? It's set along our own timelines, but it's just not real. Well, depending on who you are as a fan. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's always been larger than life, and you feel like you're actually with it, on this ride. And like you said, it's an escape. It gets you away from what's going on in the real world for 2 hours. And Lord knows we need more of those 2 hours now than we did back then. I mean, I know I do, but that's me. So gimme Star Wars.
Well, but so that's a sort of a good lead into, as we were saying before, like the Mandalorian Grogu comes out this week. It's the first time in 7 years that we have a chance to go see a new Star Wars movie. I'll just throw this out. You guys can pick it up in any order you want, but why is it important that Star Wars is back in the theaters? And why is it important to go see a Star Wars in the theater?
Is it important?
Because Star Wars is like Star Trek. It's like other giant IPs, Harry Potter, that kind of thing, where you walk into the theater, you know that everybody in the room is as excited as you are. Everybody in the room is here to see this movie on purpose. You don't go see a Star Wars movie because it's what's showing. Like, that's not how it works. Right. And I mean, I do think that we as a society
it's not an afterthought.
Yes,
exactly. And I mean, I think we do have, as a society as a fandom, we do think we're a larger population of who sees these movies than we actually are. That's part of the reason why the theories and stuff thing, for me kind of breaks down, because it's like, I don't want to be the one to break your heart, Pumpkin, but people that care as much about Star Wars as we do, we're not the biggest audience. I'm sorry to tell you, the vast majority of the audience are people who have only seen the movies and they don't care beyond I've seen the movies. Like, they don't care about any of the other stuff. Some people have only seen the movies, but at least they're interested in hearing about the lore and blah, 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 you know. So anyways, I digress. But for me, I think that's what for me makes it exciting. Is I'm going to the Mandalorian Grogu on Thursday night.
Yes.
I'm going to go see it in IMAX. I am going by myself. I bought the first ticket at the theater that was sold for my showing. I'm sitting dead center in the middle of the IMAX theater by myself, and I am not the least bit concerned because I know who's in that room with me, okay? Yeah. And I'm not nervous. I know I'm going to have a good time. It's like, am I going to get a picture with the sign? Of course I get a picture with the sign. There's probably going to be a bunch of idiots in their cosplay that I'm going to be able to stand next to and be like, so, but you know what I mean? That doesn't happen when you go and see Interstellar. You know what I mean? Right. It doesn't happen when you go to see these other movies. But if you're going to see a Harry Potter movie, you know everybody in the room can tell you what house they're from. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of concept. So I think, to me, that's what makes going to Star Wars movies so exciting, because you have that, like, it's the same camaraderie you feel when you're walking down the street and you see somebody with your, sorry, Chris, sports ball team name on their jacket, jersey, or hat. You're like, that person is family. I mean, we might hate each other 99.9% of the time, but honey, on Sundays from noon until 3, we are brothers, okay?
Raven,
and we will die for each other.
When I see another person in my area with the Dallas Cowboys anything on, and we both,
you call police as you should.
Hush up, Mick. No, we look at each other and we know where we're at. We know where to feel. We're just like, we look around, we just give each other a little fist bump, and
then
moving.
You check the date on your phone and see if it's 1995. But I digress.
Thank you. Where is the lie? Oh, where is the lie?
I think my favorite thing that I saw recently, as it relates to sports, was nobody has ever said on Facebook, "Congratulations to the Cowboys for winning the Super Bowl."
Oh man, we're on MySpace even.
Wow, we really got
MySpace. You know
wow, it works because this is the Star Wars family. This is the way we should be able to talk about Star Wars, and now say, well, you're clearly a racist because you don't like the Cowboys. No,
nobody likes the Cowboys except for Cowboys fans. I mean, come on.
I support you, Chris, because I don't really care.
Thank you.
I don't support you, Chris.
I love it.
Because in 1995, the Cowboys kept beating my Packers, so I don't support you, and I hate the Cowboys. A lot. Between the Cowboys and the 49ers.
This is all getting edited.
All right,
now.
Let's get this all back on the rails. I have so much editing to do.
Yeah.
It was my fault. See, we knew it was going to be my fault.
We knew it was going to happen. So that's a really good point. Brian, what are your thoughts on it?
I forgot the question.
Why is seeing a Star Wars in the theater like an important thing to do? Or, I mean, important makes it sound like it's curing a disease. It's not, but a great way to enjoy the movie.
I mean, I align with Raven's thoughts on it. Although, well, I take that back. I've gotten a little disgruntled with the theater experience lately, but that's mostly because I like to watch it without other screens in my face. I'm hoping we've got several tickets lined up, several showings lined up in the coming week, and this will be an experience. I think, even if there is some jerk scrolling on their phone or listening to the movie, I'll still be so focused on the screen. It's not going to be like a big Oscar, dramatic moment filled thing. I've heard that it's great action. I doubt there will be a whole lot of like lore building. It's not going to be super serious. It just looks like a
Solo,
rollicking adventure, fun, exuberant movie. I think I used the word before. So it is going to be a communal experience, and I love when theaters are like that, when you've got a bunch of like-minded people in there with you, and they all have the same kind of respect, reverence for like the shared experience, and they're not going to ruin it for everybody else. But even if there are screens out, I'll probably still be like, I won't be as annoyed at that as I was like in Mission Impossible, like big finale scene or something.
It's like
I bring Chinese throwing stars. So
nice. It's like a Star Wars celebration experience. It's a mini Star Wars celebration because, to your point, the point you guys both made is those people are, nobody's been dragged there, nobody's been forced to go there. I mean, if I take my wife, maybe she'll be kind of dragged to go, but otherwise, it's all people who are there because they want to be, and that's what. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a communal experience, but also why is it important? Because some of the best memories I have are bringing my kids to see the rise of Skywalker and to know that they understand what's going on, to say we're going to see a Star Wars movie, to go into the Phantom Menace and sitting next to my brother, and when the fanfare hits and just both of us grabbing each other's hands and kind of shaking each other saying, oh my God, we're seeing a new Star Wars movie in the theater, to going to see The Last Jedi at midnight and sitting there with my mom and my dad. And now my mom isn't around anymore, but to know that she wanted to be there because she knew that when I was a kid, this is what I was obsessed with. And because of me, she got into it and was there at midnight with my dad and my brother. And I said to them, I can't wait till the next one comes out because I could bring my son. So it's as much as it's a communal experience, which it is, it's also a personal experience. To stand in line for another movie in 1998 and to turn around to my brother and say, yeah, did you see that poster over there? And it was the Anakin standing on Tatooine with the shadow of Vader behind him for Phantom Menace, one of the greatest teaser posters ever made. And to just look at each other and say, and just to look at each other and just look at each other and know that we're both thinking, I can't wait till that comes out next year because we're going to be there seeing this. As much as it is a communal experience, and you're right, it is, because you're there and you know that it's all the people who want to be there, except as people said, I would drag my wife too. But it's also a personal experience because that's what these movies do also. It's you remember all this stuff. That you see it with your brother, you see it with your mom, the first time you take your kids, and they'll be on a podcast 30 years from now saying, oh, I went and saw it with my dad. I went and saw The Rise of Skywalker with my dad for the first time. And I take pictures with my son and my daughter out in the movie theater with the big stand-ups too. So those come up in my memories all the time, which are awesome.
It's also generational, adding to that, like you're talking about with your kids, because I can't tell you how excited my son is, who's 24, to see this movie specifically, because it's a full circle moment for us, because we've been talking about it ever since it was announced, ever since Rada was brought into it, because I took my kids to the midnight showing, which I don't really do that anymore, of the Clone Wars movie. That was their first Star Wars movie experience, was the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, wow.
And all three of my kids fell in love with Ahsoka. They fell in love with Stinky. And to know that it's the same narrative again. Stinky needs rescuing. There's a conspiracy of why he needs rescuing. This was Ventress took Stinky. It was part of Zero's plan, which is Jabba's uncle, along with Dooku, so they can frame the Jedi and win the alliance of the Separatists. So what's the conspiracy this time? Why does Rada need rescuing? So this is huge for my son. Because he loves this now, because he's seeing it. He's seeing you have to wait a decade or so for these stories to all connect. He loved Maul for the same reason, because for him, Rebels just exploded now, with the twin sons and what everything means now. So this, for me, is huge because I'm looking at it through his eyes now.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Star Wars. It's not just personal, it's not just family, but it's generational. This is, they have us. We're invested. We're going no matter what. It's these young people. Right. It's their turn now. How are you going to keep them doing what we've done all these years? So
which is why when I hear the first person complain about, well, this was goofy, it was just an adventure, we didn't get the story advanced. My son,
it was made for kids. What the hell?
my son, who's 14, literally, I had no faith in the advertising for a while for this movie. until the other day when my son said, "Oh, we got to go. It comes out next week. We got to go see Mandalorian and Grogu. I can't wait to see Grogu on the screen. I can't wait. He's so cute." And so my 14-year-old son, it worked. And that's great. And again, the reminder is it's because, as Mick said, he'll have a podcast in 20 years and he'll talk about this movie. He won't remember the prequel or the sequels because I'm not even sure if I brought him to the sequels. I know I talked to my daughter, but I don't know if he was old enough. But now he's a Maul fan, he's a Rebels fan, and he loved the Mandalorian. And now, just like Becca said, this is his movie. And honestly, I think that might be something for all the negative Nellies out there to remember. This is a movie for Star Wars fans, but it's not for the trilogies per se, right? It's not the expansion of the story that we grew up with. It's actually an expansion of the latest Star Wars stories that have taken hold. And that's actually, that's kind of an interesting thing. And you have to go in with that in mind and recognize you're not going to get Luke. You're not going to get the Millennium Falcon. You're not going to get, well, I don't know. From the trailers, it looks like we're going to get some prequel stuff, which is kind of cool. But at least some battle droids. So I'm excited about that. But this is the Disney era generation's first Star Wars movie, and that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
and that's how it's going to live on. Also, is our generation letting it go and giving it off to the next generation? Because if we don't and you don't accept it, then wow, that's the people in this generation's problem. It's not Star Wars' problem. It's not Disney's problem. It's the fans' problem. But that's a whole other conversation. And we are not negative on this podcast, so we're going to
not at all. Never
about rainbows and sunshine.
Right,
rainbows and sunshine.
I did want to tack on. It's not my experience, but it is my wife Holly's. For her last few 50-something birthdays, she's typically done some kind of blowout thing. And her 6th birthday was Star Wars Day, was the day A New Hope hit theaters in 77. So this year that there is a new Star Wars movie on her birthday again, we rented out a theater and invited a few dozen friends. So that theater experience, if someone does have their phone out, I can at least hit them in the head without it.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that so much.
Yes.
But it will come after we've already seen it a couple times, like in regular release, like IMAX or whatever. But yeah, that it means so much to her also that I was like, that's what I want to do on my birthday. So
excellent.
That's happening.
I don't know if I've been conditioned thanks to streaming, but I don't have a great need to see Star Wars theatrically. I just have a need to see Star Wars, and I don't care how I get to see it. Tablet, my TV, movie theater, cool. But if I'm going to the theater to go see it, it's got to be first showing, the first day, first day at least, at night, something like that. It's got to be with other Star Wars fans. It's got to be. I can't like I'll go check it out over the weekend or sometime next, like a few days after it's been released. I need to see it with my people.
You know why? You know why though? Because I remember seeing Attack of the Clones with you, and when the Lucasfilm logo came on, you leaned over and said, "The seal of approval."
That's awesome.
Dude, there was no greater experience. There was no greater theatrical experience for me as far as Star Wars go than Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, when we got to see the first two
episodes of Obi-Wan.
Two episodes of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
There was nothing like it because we're all sitting in that auditorium and the Star Wars Celebration. So the best fans in the world are going to be at this thing, and you're all there to watch. There was nothing like it, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to get something like that again. Even like when Pete and I went to go see Acolyte, you should have seen the jabroni who was sitting next to me. Couldn't wait to hate on it.
Yeah.
But that nerd. But I call him a nerd when we're on the Star Wars podcast. But like it's got to, like, for me, when I go to the theater to see that sort of thing, it has to be something like that, where I am in there with absolute Star Wars fans who love it. You know, like, I mean, if you're gonna be critical, yada yada yada. But you know, just people who can generally want to enjoy Star Wars. That's the crowd I want to see it with. So that Obi-Wan experience is probably, out of all of them, even going to see like Phantom Menace was insane. Like you're saying, Mick, like my brother, every premiere, except for the sequel trilogy, every premiere, my brother we've gone. You know, New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, first time. Phantom Menace, we went. Like, you know, I was telling Becca this, how we had to like when it came to getting tickets, like, you know, he dropped me off at the theater, and I was there all day in line with a whole bunch of people, blah blah blah. He comes back a few hours later, brings me lunch, and comes pick me up like a few hours later, and then we went to go see it. And there were people like you know, a few rows down, everyone just had lightsabers and they're waving them in the air, that sort of thing. Whereas he's like, as far as that goes, like, and I'm like, all right, guys, put him down. Let's watch the movie. But you know, it was a great time. Attack of the Clones, similar. Revenge of the Sith, my brother and I, you know, we went, and then, you know, as the movie ended, I'm getting blubbery because I'm like, it's the last one. Yeah. And I'm like, and I'm making sure no one can see it, but I'm crying and whatnot. And like, I go to my brother and say, thanks for coming to see this with me. You know, like, he couldn't tell. I'm glad, because he'd still be making fun of me today. But
Chris, you just told him.
He's like, he doesn't watch these.
He does. He does.
But isn't that telling, though, that we could tell these stories, and it's not about, I mean, it's a little bit. We'll talk about like seeing Luke and Leia swing, but most of these memories are with the people who we saw it with, and what it meant to us to see it with those people. I can remember going to see the re-releases, and first of all, I remember in 1997 saying, 1977, 20 years ago, man, that's forever. That was a while ago. But anyway, I remember my brother and I. I remember my brother and I driving around, because they re-released it, but it wasn't they re-released A New Hope, and they didn't have plans to re-release Empire and Jedi. And we saw A New Hope, and then they decided, well, they made all this money, we're going to release Empire and Jedi. And they weren't releasing it in every theater that was close to us. And my brother and I scrambling, because this was, you know, you get called up, hello, and welcome to Movie Phone.
No, so you're not talking special editions. You just mean,
I'm talking about in 97 when they re-released the original trilogy in 97 into theaters. Yeah. And you know, the commercials, for the first time, you've seen them like this, now see them like this. But we were running around trying to find theaters because we wanted to see all three originals together.
Yep.
And, you know, we would bring friends in, and they probably didn't like it as much as my brother and I did, but still, I mean, they knew we were psychopaths and we wanted to see Star Wars. So, but there's memories from that, and it goes into the prequels and now the sequels also. And now I'm just glad that I'll continue that. I had a similar situation with my daughter. We went and saw Project Hail Mary as a family, and they showed the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, and she leaned over and said, "Oh, he looks cute. I think I want to go see that." And I was like,
exactly.
I want to add, though, that I did also in 1997 see all three of the original trilogy. In the theater near where I lived at the time, they played all three back to back in one day. Awesome. And it was like the day or week before, like the whole week before Phantom Menace came out. And that was a really big deal for me, because for me, Star Wars is a family thing. It's always been a family thing. I just spent the last week talking my mother through Andor season 2 so that we can watch it, and she could watch it and we could talk about it on our camping trip this weekend. But anywho, that was my first time going to a Star Wars movie with my friends. And we were obviously, I was 20 years old, but it was my first time going with my friends, a whole bunch of grown-ups, my boyfriend at the time. We went and, he went to Star Wars A New Hope on opening day back in 1997 or in 77 because he was 11 years old. So he, was super excited to see them again in the theater. And I thought it was so much fun because, up till that point, again, 1997, if you went to a movie where the audience made noise, it was Rocky Horror Picture Show, or you didn't make noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was my first experience of being in a movie theater. And then, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then the fanfare hits and the whole place goes nuts.
Yeah.
That was my first experience of that because that I remember didn't happen when I saw, Return of the Jedi. But when I got to go do this, and it was like 3 movies in a row of this packed theater. And it was one of those things where it was like Rocky Horror Picture Show, people were laughing out loud and, yelling out comments and so on and so forth. And it was so much fun because you knew everybody in this room knows every word to these, all 3 of these movies. Like nobody's missing anything. No one's shocked by the I Am Your Father, So it was fun. It was one of those times where I'm like, I don't care that everybody's making noise because we're all here so excited because, oh my God, there's new Star Wars coming. And we're just here whetting our appetite for it. So long tail on it, but what mix it?
Becca, were you gonna say something?
Nope.
No, that's okay. Okay, good. It's fine. But I'll add to what you're saying, Raven, because I got to return the favor to my dad when the special editions did come out. I took him to the New York premiere in New York City, obviously New York City. But I remember my memory of that, other than just going with my dad and being able to take him to it, was the concept that struck me was that we've only seen these movies. So many people have only seen these movies on VCR, on HBO, on television, and when Luke and Leia and Han are in the trash compactor, and Chewie, no offense, buddy, but when C-3PO is saying "curse my metal body," we're too late, and the audience laughed. Because that's a funny part of the movie. I forgot. Because when you watch it alone or you watch it with your buddies who've seen it 1,000 times, you just kind of go through the movie. But when the entire audience as a community laughs again, you're like, oh, and that's what you're not going to get. If you watch Mandalorian and Grogu, and if it was just season 4 and we all watched it on our phones or on our televisions with a couple people in the room, it would be different than going to see Mandalorian and Grogu this week with people who are going to awe at the cute things that baby Grogu does and gasp at the crazy adventure and cheer and laugh at the funny things. And so I think that's what I would say is I would recommend to people, and Disney, if you want to steal this and put it on one of your ads, I'm fine with that. Grab somebody you love and take them to see this movie with you, because it will be a memory for them, and for you too. It will be a memory for you that you won't forget. It'll be amazing. So that's why I'm more excited to bring my kids to see it and just experience it with them than I am. And that's nothing against the movie, but I'm just more excited to say, okay, maybe I can indoctrinate my daughter a little bit more. My son, he's already sold. So it's just more, mind warping for him, but now I'm just trying to one to go. They've been getting dressed as Star Wars. I've been dressing them as Star Wars characters since literally they were born. So I mean, something's got to stick, right? Why was I dressed in an X-wing fighter outfit when I was?
Because you love this.
No reason.
Right? Because you love Star Wars. Remember that. Right. Never forget it.
And if you don't, you're banned from this.
Yes. You love
you love Star Wars.
Oh man. All right, editor, what do you want to do? We're at about an hour.
I did glitch there for a second. I don't know if it popped up on your screen, but everybody went squirrely and
really? I didn't see it.
I saw a couple of people had a freeze for a second, but nothing.
For a second, I had the warning that recording had stopped, but it popped back up that it's
Oh, probably for yours, he probably popped off for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. If anything, it'll still be like smooth sailing as far as when I take the recordings and whatnot from this. So there should be no interruptions. Hopefully, if not, it'll be a nightmare.
Just make a goofy face, and then he can just screenshot that and have it stuck there for a minute. You know. Yeah. Exactly.
Perfect.
All right. So I'll do the let's see, because I want to do the lightning round thing. Which
let's do the lightning round.
I can clip those. I can do like little clip things with those, but let's do the closer question for this one, and that is. If you could relive one Star Wars theatrical, we kind of talked about that. If you can relive one Star Wars theatrical experience for the first time again, you know what? Yeah, if you could relive one Star Wars theatrical experience for the first time again, which one would it be?
I have such a good answer for this.
All right. So we'll start with that, and then we'll pause again and we'll start the lightning round where I'll explain what it is. And then I'm gonna shoot out a question, and then I'm gonna randomly pick someone. So
be ready. Okay.
Yeah, Jinx, we said that at the same time, brother. All right. So I'll start this one. All right. So let me throw this question out there for y'all. If you could relive one Star Wars theatrical experience all over again, which one would it be?
As much as I want to say Phantom Menace, I would actually say The Force Awakens, because I didn't think after Revenge of the Sith, as Chris said, I never thought I would see another Star Wars movie in the theater again. So to have that build up of The Force Awakens and to know that the original trio was coming back and all of those original characters were coming back, and to know that I was going to get to see it on the big screen. And the day before it opened, I took my son and daughter to daycare, and I dropped my daughter off because she was only a year old. And then I said to the people up front, I told them my son wasn't coming in that day. He was going to come with me. I took off from work, and I took him to see the Peanuts movie because it was the first movie he saw in the theater. I wanted to see if he would be able to sit. And he did. And we walked out, and they had the stand-ups for The Force Awakens. And he said, "Are you going to go see this?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "Can I come?" And I said, "Buddy, we're going at midnight. It's going to be really late." But I said to him, "The next one in 2 years, you'll be able to come with me." So when I was sitting there, and again, I was sitting next to my brother, and on the other side was my mom and my dad, and we had, I think, 7 or 8 other friends. We got a bunch of tickets that night. I knew that for the next one, I was going to see it with my son, but I also knew that I was going to be reintroduced to old friends. So I would love to be able to relive seeing The Force Awakens again.
Mine's lame, but I don't care because it's me. I would give anything to experience the hold-on maneuver the first time again.
Nice.
Because there are so few things that have happened in Star Wars where I'm like waking up in the middle of the night 3 weeks later, like, holy shit, was that cool? That was so awesome. It was, there are so many reasons why, but for me, I would love to relive that moment where, and then you're just like, that moment of silence where you're just like, and then boom, and you're like, oh my God, brain exploded, done. I won't remember anything after this. I would love to be able to experience that feeling of, because it was kind of like, it's kind of like the sound charge. Like if somebody asked you what it would sound like, what it would look like ahead of time, you would not really know exactly. But now, if you heard that sound, no matter where you were, no matter what you were doing, you'd be like, where is it happening? And to me, that is just, it's just it was such a moment. I just remember sitting in the theater and just being absolutely like, can we stop the reel for a minute? Because I need some time to like
life paused. Paused.
And it was so beautifully done that it, obviously it had its emotional hit and its story beat, but that was the coolest thing I think possibly I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's saying something because I've seen some cool stuff in my day. But yeah, I don't know that there is any Star Wars experience I would like to relive more than seeing that for the first time, except for Luke's boots.
She's got a thing.
Have a thing. I'm so sorry.
So sorry. Well, yeah. Speaking of things, if it's okay, I'll take this opportunity to what movie I'd like to relive again. And this is really weird, but as we're talking about it, it's coming to mind. So I would say Rogue One for the Vader scene. Just that alone was not. I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting it, and that is a culmination of everything Vader stands for. And up until that point, people, you would hear in movies, people were afraid he was the villain, but that was the moment. Ordinary people in that corridor saw Darth Vader. And no one could retell that tale because everyone died. This is exactly
really good
reason why
Really
he
good
is
point.
a nightmare. Okay? This is the nightmare. We've only come close to that now with Maul. Thank you very much, Athena and Dave Filoni and everyone that chose to make him Silent Bob Vader because it was.
Oh, it's perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And also for the fact that that was the last Star Wars movie that my mother was here on this planet to see it with me. So that is it. Yeah.
I have. Go for it. Go for it, Brad.
Do it a little bit different. If there was a Ghosts of Star Wars Past, I would love to be visited by it and taken back to A New Hope and watch that 8-year-old kid's life change forever.
Yeah.
I would like to see me seeing it for the very first time. Because I don't remember it, like we've been saying.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
I want to see
That's
that.
excellent.
That's awesome.
I got something similar to yours, Brian. Like it's like if I could have a couple of what if scenarios. What if at 5 I remembered watching Empire Strikes Back in the theater for the first time, and there for the "No, I am your father" scene. Like I had to ask my older brother, and he's 5 years older than me. I had to ask him what did we think of that? What were we, and he was like, "Oh, we didn't believe him." That was one thing. Like, we didn't believe a word he said, that sort of thing. And then the other one would be, what if I had some willpower and did not open up that book and looked at that clip, or that part of Vader throwing him, and I would have loved to have seen that for what it was, and not just like it's coming. Like those are a couple of what ifs, but I think one that's more recent. It's going to have to be from The Last Jedi, and it's when Ben Kylo kills Snoke, because people were gasping and like, "Oh man, oh!" and I was like, "Ah!" I told y'all he was nobody. Like that, I would have loved to see again, because that, like, every Snoke theory just dissipated.
Okay, but everything had
your
happened.
Snoke theory is wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything that happened in that section of that movie was.
Yeah.
Look, those two. Look, I was like, a red lightsaber and a blue lightsaber working together.
Oh God!
Like
everything about it just oh my God! Inject that fight scene into my veins. It's right up there with the coats from Winter Soldier. Jesus. Okay. Anyway,
Like Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the Obi versus. Oh, look, when I remember that's my brother's favorite part, right? Like when in Partially Mine 2 is when it was so subtle, and it was it was Obi-Wan behind the red shield.
The
and he's just like this, and my brother's like, oh shit. Like, like that was like what it was saying,
it's about to go down.
It's about to go down. Like, he's getting ready for it. That's like, there's so many.
Sorry,
and
yours.
No, my Rise of Skywalker moment was when we were walking out of the theater. My daughter, who was into Star Wars at the time, it was a Homer Simpson moment. She turns to me as we're passing the line of people going in and she goes, "How the heck is she his granddaughter? And she Palpatine's granddaughter?" And I was like, "Oh my God, just keep going, just keep going." I mean, it was a great question, but I was like, "Oh no," like right in front of everybody. But I mean, my favorite Star Wars memory, and I don't mean this in the humble brag that it will sound like, but when I went to go see Phantom Menace at the Premiere New York City, where it was like this star-studded event, and the thing though that I do remember very much about it is nobody knew how to feel about it afterwards, right? Everybody was kind of like, huh, because it was all our ages, right? Or older.
Speaking of trade routes, huh?
Yeah. Interesting. And I remember, honestly,
that'll never come up in real life.
Right. This will never happen. This is so outrageous. But I literally remember thinking like, oh, maybe this is like a test screening or something. And I'm walking out of the theater, like with the celebrities who were just like, that was interesting. But it was funny because I mean, and again, conversation for another time, but we had expectations going in and not all of them were met. And that was my first sort of experience with not meeting expectations. But again, it was a great experience and I would never trade it. And of course, another one might be when I went to see Return of the Jedi with my best friend, and we were just waiting for everything to happen, get all of our answers to all the questions we had. So, and from a pure joy standpoint, it would probably be Return of the Jedi, to go back and see that again with that just childlike wonder that 12-year-old who still just wasn't jaded, was just there because Luke is there and Han and the robots are going to be in it again. And Darth Vader, we've seen a picture of him. Oh my gosh, what's he going to do? So I would love to have that experience again. And I think we can have that experience this week because we don't know that's why I'm staying off the internet as much as possible. Because I don't want to know what I'm going to see. And even again, I'm not looking for lore. I'm looking for just fun and just popcorn munching Star Wars,
Right. And it's one of the reasons why Solo is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. There wasn't any galactic, there wasn't an overarching galactic threat or anything like that. There were no huge stakes. It was this one story.
Yeah.
Within everything else, and that's why I loved it. So look, I know I'm gonna like this thing. I know me. I know I'm gonna like this thing.
It's gonna be Grogu. How bad can it be? I mean, dude is mega cute.
Yeah. That is not the selling point for me. It's just there's Star Wars in the title. Right. Oh well, I'm there. Right, you got
so cute. It should
John
not
Favreau
still be cute
with his action figures. I'm very excited.
Yep.
Yeah. I love the way Filoni and Favreau do their thing because it is pretty much us just playing with our action figures. At a much higher budget. And now we're about to go into the hyperspace memory round. These are going to be quick fire questions, and I'm going to be pointing out members of the trilogies random so they can answer this one. So you guys got to be ready to go when I ask these questions. Who knows who's going to get picked? Who knows? So here we go. Best Star Wars opening night crowd. Mick!
I knew you were going to pick me. Best Star Wars opening night crowd would be it's got to be the Phantom Menace, just because it was the culmination of waiting 16 years. That was forever, right? I mean, 16 years. Oh my, that's a lifetime. Just the anticipation, the joy, the excitement, the theories, standing in line and talking to people, being there with my brother. I keep bringing my brother up. My brother's going to a podcast to talk about me like this. He doesn't. But
same.
Seriously, best opening night was the Phantom Menace. It was to me, that was like opening myself up into a larger world, into the modern movie going experience, for better or for worse. But it was just the culmination of a wait that felt like forever that now would feel like the blink of an eye because I'm old and ready to turn to dust.
Wow. Wow. It sounds so hopeful.
Brand new. It was the brand newest. It didn't have Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Every other sequel trilogy or every other trilogy has started out with Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just was such a chance to be something fresh and original and still connected, but like just the looking forward to what might we see was so thrilling.
All right, next one. Best theater applause moment. Becca.
Force Awakens when Rey calls a lightsaber to herself.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good
That
one.
was probably the most applause I've heard in a Star memory. So, yeah. And it still gives me chills thinking about that.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I've been wanting that type of moment as, as a little girl. Like that just, I was a puddle. So,
Yep.
Yay, Rey. I am a team Rey. So there you go.
I had a similar one, but it was with having a black lead, but that was taken away because the saber went to Rey instead.
That's because Finn is a gentleman and he just decided to go, hey, ladies first,
I just
Jumped
am
out of the way.
I am waiting for a white male representation in Star Wars, though.
Whoa, you're asking for a lot. You're asking for a lot.
Canceled.
I still have my hopes held out for Finn and Rey. I'm still going to see them again.
Finn's coming. They're both coming back.
They have to be part of this starfight. I think they
Yes.
in some small, in some small way, they have to be. Okay, next one. Midnight premieres, worth it or overrated? Brian.
Forgive me, other parents in the room, but there's kids at midnight premieres, so I'd like that.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you there.
That's kind of unfair because Star Wars is for kids, and they should be like any showing. They should be there.
Yeah, but F those kids.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute.
I ain't got none. I don't want to deal with yours either. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It's my motto, baby. So
I mean,
what?
In college, I worked in a theater and cleaned up after it was the summer of '89, so it was Batman and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and
Ghostbusters
Last
2.
Crusade and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids theaters were always awful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, young Mick would say midnight showings, yay.
And then those kids just weren't raised
51-year-old
right. That's
Mick.
all I gotta say.
I'm tired.
Yeah. I'm not doing a
Gotta
midnight
do the
release.
30 round.
Let's get a nap around 8 p.m. and then we'll wake up.
I'm too old for that stuff.
6 p.m. premieres. I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay, Obi-Wan.
All right, so here's the last one. The last one. For us first gen fans, us Gen X fans, would you rather watch Star Wars at home instantly or wait months to see it in the theater? Chris, okay. Give it to me right now. Give it to me right now.
Pure, unrefined Star Wars.
Check it into my veins. Okay, but all right.
Yep.
Pete, this one's you.
I think my answer is yes. In that I love sort of the being able to watch it, wake up at 3 a.m. here on the East Coast to watch this stuff. I still do it with some of the shows. I didn't do it with all of them, but Andor, I absolutely was so into Andor. But I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this build up to to Mando and Grogu. I'm excited about Starfighter. I'm excited about, having to do the online ticket thing next year for Starfighter. And so I think because the communal thing that we talked about earlier, I think I might rather wait months to go have the opportunity to see it in theaters.
You're a better man than I.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us and putting up with our Generation X Get Off My Lawns and having fun with us and really getting a perspective on what Star Wars has been like since the very beginning. So I want to thank our guests, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go around one by one. I'm going to say thank you, Becca. What's happening on Tarkin's Top Shelf coming up?
Well, we just released our final countdown to the Mandalorian Grogu episode, so check that out.
Nice.
We also, in that episode, we review issue 3 of Shadow of Maul. If you're not reading that series, I don't know what to tell you. You really need to. I'm sorry. Got to get that Maul going. Oh, it's so good. So good. Books. And then we got coming up the review of the Mandalorian visual guide.
Cool.
Because that releases on the 26th.
Yes.
So we're doing that next week.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with us again and being a part of the Trill OGs. Anything you want to give a shout out to? Anything you're doing or Holly's doing that we need to know about?
Well, I am wearing a shirt that you can get at the the web address you see below.
Yes.
Very comfortable. The print is not thick and like stifling.
Yeah.
Very good quality shirts at this address that you see below. So go check out the store and see if there's anything that strikes your fancy.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is the old Kenner proof of purchase, but just done for the Star Wars trilogies. Am I correct? Beautiful. Well done.
In true Arabesh, not Disney Bash, merch bash, whatever it's called.
Oh boy.
Cancel our opening night tickets to Starfighter.
Yes. Excellent.
We're not getting those premiere.
Yeah.
Nope.
Raven, you are, of course, a member of the Bro Axiom crew. Are you going to be on any upcoming episodes?
I'm not sure, but I am going to be interviewing a 72-year-old Star Wars fan this weekend in Bespin. And I'm hoping to get some interesting insights and things to share. So you just never know where you might see that.
Excellent.
Awesome. Cool. Mick, what's going on with you?
My podcast is Pop Culture Basement. I wish I had Star Wars content to push on there, but the very first episode we did talk about the Star Wars prequels. So if you want to visit us and go back to the first episode, you can hear us talk about the Star Wars prequels. Right now, just released a new episode talking about the classic 1984 comic multi-series Secret Wars. Wow. And we will have an episode coming out next week. Next week when we're recording this, about the Rankin Bass Hobbit. The good one.
Wow. Yes.
The good Hobbit.
Wow. That is so intermingled with all my old Star Wars memories.
Yes.
Oh man.
Came out the same year. We talk about it.
I had the book. all right. Anyway, yes. All right. I'll be listening to that.
So yes, sure. Pop Culture Basement. If you're excited about that kind of stuff, like all these guys are, give us a listen. And we will be talking Star Wars again. I'm going to try to wrangle my son on to talk about the sequels eventually.
Excellent.
Awesome. Cool.
Make sure you guys bring up the song "When There's a Whip, There's a Way."
No, that's from
Lord of the Rings.
That Lord of the Rings.
You're right. It's from Return of the King.
You're right.
I'll have you on to do that episode if you want to come on.
Okay.
Only if you sing it though.
I looked up the video of that just to get it because I was so excited about it.
Yep.
I'll come on that episode and I'll talk like Gandalf in that
John Huston
from the Rankin Bass. Yeah,
man.
Oh man, so cool. Well, I mean, you can catch ATG live on Thursdays, every other Thursday or so. We've been kind of just doing it when we can do it. We're having some fun there, and you can join Chris and me and Nick Milkey, and of course Kelsey Puckett, our wonderful producer who occasionally does make me feel as old as I am. So join us there, and you'll also be able to find these episodes, trilogies, on our SSW network on YouTube, I believe. But you want to go follow it on YouTube, Trilogies, correct, Chris? We have that.
Yeah, Star Wars Trilogies on YouTube. We are on Instagram. Also, it's the Star Wars Trilogies. All the links below. I will be putting all the links below. Our store right now, we have a few items up there, like this lovely T-shirt that Brian is wearing at the moment, and that is on our Fourth Wall store. And that link will also be below.
Coming soon. Thank Greedo, it's Fry, right?
Thank Greedo, it's Friday. It's happening. It's happening.
It's
I'm gonna get a picture. I have to add Brian's beard into the image somehow and get that in there. Just
I agree.
That's awesome.
I'm working on it right now.
I love it.
Let's see. For me, you can catch me every week just talking absolute nonsense with the Poodoo Crew Sunday nights live on the Bro Axiom YouTube channel. And whenever there's a new comic out, it's like if there's a new Marvel Star Wars canon comic out, we will be previewing them for our quick shot Star Wars comics previews. The last one we did was Maul, Shadow of Maul. Yeah, it was issue 3, and it was, like Becca said, it was excellent. The next one coming out is the Galaxy's Edge Echoes of the Empire book. Is it to sell people on going to Galaxy's Edge? Yes. Is it good? Yes. So definitely check it out.
I agree with you.
Excellent. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow us wherever you're hearing this or watching it right now, clicking follow, all that stuff, because we're going to keep going with more retrospective and different perspective from Generation X, part of the Trill OGs, and may the Force be with you.
Always.